Greetings everyone, Rakandar here, bringing you another Legends of Runeterra Road to Masters video. Today we'll be kind of doing this format a little bit different. We did this, I only say a little bit different because we have done it in the past, and the format basically being we will go from this brief introduction that I'm recording separately from gameplay into a transition into the gameplay using editing. The reason for this in the past is fairly the same for now, is that during live recording commentary I was having I was kind of struggling actually playing well. I would, even though I would kind of describe like my thoughts, you know, hey, he's got 4 mana, he could have this, he could have this, you know, even when I was going through those kind of ideas in my head, sometimes I still just wouldn't listen to them. I don't know, the constant commentary maybe made me speed up my thinking and all this other stuff. And this was pretty noticeable, especially throughout some of my platinum videos where I've gone on record, you know, I would stream for a good, you know, a good portion of the games, and then I would climb up, you know, go on a pretty good win streak, climb up fairly well, and then I would try to record, you know, because I'm like, hey, we went from Diamond 3 to Diamond 2, maybe we should get some, you know, some videos for the channel, for the YouTube channel, since we're doing a series on it, and then I would just immediately lose like 3 or 4 in a row. So instead of going through that process again and again and again, basically what I did was I sat myself down and just did the grind. So one of the things that I had to learn pretty quickly was that this is a grind. So I will go ahead, because the way that I'm doing this, I do want to mention that we've succeeded. Okay, so I can go over here, show you my deck lists. We managed to hit Masters. I'm recording this after my gameplay successes in the on-stream. All of that stuff's currently on the stream channel if you wanted an early access, I suppose. But I wanted to bring this up because there are some changes. And all of this gameplay was recorded before said changes, and I just wanted to make sure that you guys aren't being confused with how things are progressing. So, I played the Bannerman deck. I was like, alright, I want quick games, relatively quick games. I mean, there were still a couple of grinds, but I want mostly quick games. I want a good, solid deck that can just, you know, if I'm playing it well and doing alright, I can, you know, come out on top. And just kind of sit down and grind. It's a lot grindier than I thought it would be, so I needed to slow down. I was getting tilted, you know, if I would win a few games and then I would lose one pretty heavily with like other decks, and I was like, you know, I would start getting into this weird mindset where maybe that's me, the deck sucks or something like that, and that's completely not true. Statistically, I was still performing well with all of those decks, and I'll actually go ahead and pull up my Runeterra. There's the video, or this is the deck list, and here's the match history. Oh, never mind. You guys can't see it because I haven't changed it yet. So there you go. I guess we should go ahead and, oh, I locked it. There you go. So here's my Mobalytics match history. As you can see, our climb into Diamond was with a different deck. This is going to be, I'm going to show you guys 3 different videos. So there's 3 remaining videos of Road to Masters, and then I'm going to do a follow-up video, basically a guide video showcasing the highlights, or showcasing the tips and tricks that I kind of used to help make sure that I was actually climbing. So you can kind of see over here, you know, we would win a few and then we'd lose, and then like there's like it's just gonna happen, right? This is kind of the thing that I had to come to terms with. These losses are going to happen. You're going to lose games in a row. It doesn't matter if you win every single game. What matters is this statistic here. I had a 62% win rate. That means statistically, I'm climbing. I'm ranking up. And you can even see over here with the kind of records of my other decks, most of these are above 50%. 69%, you know, and the ones that I have the most games with are in the 60% range. 60%, 55%, you know. And these are playing, you know, this Ionia DEMACIA isn't just Bannerman. That's Shen Lux that I was also playing. So, like, that's playing a variety of decks and winning with them. And I let I let other stuff get to me, right? I let the losses that I would have get to me, and that was not good. That was bad. So basically, I sat down. The last stream that I did was, I think it was last week on Thursday or Friday. Can't remember at this point. And I just sat down. Most of the gameplay that you'll notice, that you'll see, is going to be me just sometimes just sitting back and relaxing. I'm not even sitting up. I'm not focusing hard on the entertainment, the commentary. I'm focusing on the game because I noticed that sometimes I would just I would lose sight of what was of the competitive aspect of the game, and I would lose sight of the win conditions and, you know, actually climbing. And while it's definitely great to have, you know, the commentary and all that stuff and try to be, you know, entertaining while I'm doing so, I still wanted, you know, this is the Road to Masters series. I wanted to hit that Masters peak before they made a huge change, because during basically the game's releasing at the end of this month on April, and during that release they're resetting rank and they're adding a ton of new cards, and I wanted to hit Masters before that, and just kind of, you know, prove to myself really that I'm capable, because I actually started having some doubts. So that's kind of what's been going on here. I mention all of this because, again, I'm recording this post like gameplay. Like the gameplay was during the last week. So today is Tuesday the 14th, April 14th, and so I recorded this last week, or the previous week. And they actually, you know, they made some changes. The patch hit. You'll notice that if I go over here into the Bannerman deck that I played, Bannerman actually got nerfed. So instead of granting all allies +1/+1, Bannerman only grants other allies. So he himself does not receive the +1 buff. I'm pretty sure that this won't change a ton, but it does impact the performance of the deck even slightly. And so I wanted to make sure that, you know, in this introduction portion of the video series, or the video, that you guys are aware of these changes. And there's some pretty big changes. They buffed a lot of stuff. So like a good example is Katarina. So I don't have Katarina, so I have to go actually click on that. I'm actually about to probably gonna start messing around with some Katarina. I've been really eager to play Katarina. Where's she at? She's Noxus. Where's she at? Oh, champions are always at the top. So yeah, Katarina has a new effect. When you play her for the first time, she gains a Blade's Edge in hand, which is the 1 mana deal 1 to anything, which is a really strong. Like this makes Katarina so much stronger before level up, and so it makes her a much more valuable card. And that's just, I wanted to make sure that, you know, even though I'm recording this after the patch hit, I hit King of Games. I'm not Yu-Gi-Oh! I hit Masters during or before this major patch, so you're not going to see any of the Katarina changes. You're not going to see many of the other changes that they you know, did. They buffed Draven a little bit. They buffed a lot of other stuff. So that's part of the reason that you're not seeing the same diversity. So let's go ahead and kind of give a quick rundown. I basically chose, you know, Bannerman during this patch was the best deck in the game, or, you know, previously. They've recently updated the tier list. I'll go ahead and pull that up so you guys can see. The tier list has been updated. So Bannerman isn't at the top anymore. They've realized that some of the other decks might be a little bit better. I don't think Spooky Karma is supposed to be at the top. Spider Aggro, Bannerman, Katarina Control, and then Kinko Elusives is supposed to be up there on Swim's tier list. I think that's kind of the standard tier list that people usually follow. But essentially, Bannerman was the best deck in the game. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play Bannerman. Doesn't matter what happens. If I lose, I lose. I'm not going to switch my deck until I hit Masters. We're just going to play. We're just going to keep playing. We're just going to keep playing. We're just going to keep playing. And maybe learn. You know, we're going to obviously, if we lose, try to see if, you know, consider the possible misplays that we've made along the way. But we're not going to take it to heart, because sometimes you lose because your opponent just had every possible answer imaginable. They, you know, they opened God hands. So that's what I did. And honestly, it paid off because we finally succeeded. Even when I would go on lose streaks, I didn't lose my determination. I didn't lose my kind of mental. I just was like, all right, we're still losing, we're losing, but it's going to happen. The the end goal is a positive win rate, not a 100% win rate. So because we were still a positive win rate, I didn't let that get to me. So yeah, I'll go ahead and showcase. Basically, I used Swim's version of Bannerman. This is actually currently updated from his previous list. So previously, he used House Spider, and that's what I have. If I bring up Runeterra, you can see over there, I have House Spider in the deck. But I wanted to show you where I got my deck list. So basically, I just copied whatever Swim's version of Bannerman was during that period of time. And it worked pretty well. I played a few, a lot of matches with that. I can pull up my match history. I'm not going to go over to the left again, but the earlier matches were with the Bannerman version. You can see this is where the Noxus tech was in, the Noxus region. We had a few games here where we lost a bunch, but we did have a good positive win rate with it. So the gameplay that you'll see for today's video is going to be the Nox Bannerman. And then I guess if you want a brief kind of overview of the next few videos, we're going to actually have 3 more videos. The first one being this video I'm recording this introduction for will be Nox Bannerman. I'm probably going to showcase maybe like these 4 games here or something like that, show you guys a couple of good ones. I don't want to go just like all wins. I do want to showcase a couple of the potential losses. And then I will show you guys one of my Ionia versions, and then I'll show you the final climb into Masters that we did with the last version. So that's what we're going to do. But I wanted to make sure that you guys had all of this information. Bannerman's a pretty standard deck. You're aiming to curve out into a Bannerman drop that can buff every unit on your board, and then basically just outvalue your opponent. There's no draw engines in this game. You're basically, trying to just value your cards on a board and just maintain a very, very strong, solid board of units that is very difficult to deal with. And there's a lot of kind of nuance to the deck as well. I feel like as I played it more, I respected options more. A lot of people, you just drop the tracker on 1, but sometimes you might want to save it. Sometimes you might even want to save Bannerman for a much stronger curve or board state. So it's pretty rare, of course. Normally you can get a strong curve with your early drops into a Bannerman play, but it kind of depends. There's some decision making that you might have to consider in order to win certain matchups, especially Control. Control's a really tough matchup for this deck, especially like the more popular like Karina Control decks that are running around. We'll talk about those in the next few videos, because that's pretty much the main reason we switched to a different version of the deck. So without further ado, that's going to be it for this introduction. I know it's a pretty long one, but I wanted to kind of give you guys what's going on. Basically, I was getting tilted too much trying to commentary, even on stream, like where I wasn't talking as much as I would if I did a video. I was still finding myself, I was like overly thinking, misplaying because I'm like not considering certain, I'm not actually valuing my thought process, right? I'll think about a certain situation. I'll be like, okay, he could have this card, he could have this card, but I don't think about what that means in the long term, right? If he does have riposte, how much of a punish is that? Am I okay trading riposte with a single combat or something like that, for example? And so it's a really important stuff that I had to make, really important decisions that overall swung a lot of my matchups, and in order to have a better performance through the climb, I decided to play it like this. So that's going to be it for this introduction. I'm going to go ahead and swing you guys over to the gameplay. I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope this isn't too jarring of a change with the series, but I do promise that this series will finish before the release of the game. I do want to make sure that all of this gameplay is complete and up on YouTube before the drop of the new expansion. So, but yeah, there are, just for you guys' awareness, you know, a lot of the gameplay will be an older patch when Bannerman was much stronger and other decks didn't get their buffs. So just be aware of that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you want to see the rest of this content, make sure you hit subscribe button so you'll be notified when those next episodes go live. And of course, let me know if any of this was helpful. Hopefully the last few videos, especially the one where I'm doing the guide, will be the most helpful for you in order to help you climb as well, because that's one of the main reasons I decided to do this. So yeah, anyway, that's going to be it for this introduction. Enjoy the gameplay. Later. Spider aggro? Yeah. Ooh, Teching and Draven. Sweet. And we're going
got your back. There's nothing to fear. Honor guide me.
The party has arrived.
They would fall by my blade. Stay away from my pets.
Let's boogie.
I have no time for fools. I'll stop you. Squish goes the spider.
Frenzied Skitterer could suck here.
Be DEMACIA! Hand to the face! Can't fight on an empty stomach! Safeguard our citizens! Can you stomach this? Defend our banner!
Is this supposed to be a challenge? There will no match.
What's that noise? No, 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 no!
My shield is yours! My steel is yours! I long for a worthy opponent.
Show them our strength!
What is strength without style? There's nothing to fear. My true beauty is beneath the skin.
We do what is right!
Honor guide me. I never hold back. En garde! goes the spider. Got your back!
Charge!
Wow.
Press on!
DEMACIA will prevail. I am Electros, the King's Shield. I will end this.
They would fall by my blade.
Flavor and spice.
If only Fiora could see me now.
She can. She's not impressed.
Head to the base. Aha!
Let them insult. Try me. I will cut you down. En garde!
No one goes hungry.
My life is lost, but not my purpose.
Strike without worry.
That egg, did it move?
Protect House Laurent.
Smell that? A fight's a cooking.
One banner, one destiny.
Now he just ruinations and wins.
Every step brings me closer to deliverance. I must end this madness before I lose myself. Enough souls suffered.
It's been a long path to get here.
All who stand in my way shall fall.
Oh. Fucking random maps, come on. Who plays that?
Smell that? A fight's a cooking. Hand to the face. Eat up, friend.
Strength and grace, beauty in the blade. Safeguard our citizens!
Feel the sizzle.
You call this a fight? Aha!
Can't fight on an empty stomach.
We fight for those who cannot.
I hate Brood Awakening so much. Right.
Batter him.
He doesn't have Ruination here. Could have Static Shock.
Hand to the face.
Break their spirits and their swords.
Another Skitter. Yeah. That sucks.
Stand ready. For the cause! I will not falter! Demacia will prevail.
Feel the sizzle!
Hardly fair.
No one goes hungry!
I have my orders.
Smell that? A fight's a cooking!
There's nothing to fear.
Can't fight on an empty stomach!
Who does not know the name Laurent?
Save your worlds. We speak with blades.
Batter him!
Aha!
I will put...
En garde!
Try me.
No one goes hungry!
I'm lost?
Damn it!
DEMACIA!
I stand for Noxus! Soldiers, to me!
Hand to the face!
In the name of fair.
Can't fight on an empty stomach!
A disgrace!